Hi, my name is Rob Driver. I work for Sovereign Consultancy Group as part of the housing team. I'm talking to you today about the report that was brought out on the 8th of July by George Osborne with regards to the budgets. A number of the housing association clients we work with have been concerned about the changes and challenges that the next few years are going to bring. And we thought it would be useful today to share some of our findings. So what's happened? Well, three things have happened with regards to the report. Firstly, the most important part was housing associations have been named for the first time in the budget, which is a historic thing. The three things that have come out of that report: one, housing association tenants now have the right to buy. Number two, 18 to 21-year-olds no longer have automatic entitlement to housing benefit. They have to demonstrate that either they're earning or they're learning. And number three, the most significant, the current government identified that since 2010 there's been a 20% increase in social rents. They've decided not only to freeze that, but actually reduce social rents over the coming years by 1% year on year. The impact of that, we've spoken to a number of clients and to our consultants at Sovereign, and they believe that's going to be somewhere in the region of 12 to 15% year on year for the next 4 to 5 years. So how can we overcome that? Well, our consultants, we had a roundtable discussion at Sovereign earlier this week, and we talked about a number of options. There were three headlines that came out of that. One, reducing surpluses. Two, reducing distribution, building houses. And number three, reducing operating costs. So out of those three options, reducing surpluses for some housing associations will be a real option, but for the majority it could be quite a challenge, especially over a number of years. The challenge there is, one, obviously a housing association doesn't want to be in deficit and get wound up, and two, doesn't want to breach any covenants with regards to borrowing or any other agreements that may or may not be in place. So there will be some movement there, but as to how much will depend on the housing association. Across the southeast, across the UK, there's a massive shortage of housing at the moment, something we see a lot in the press. Some housing associations won't have those challenges because their particular local authority will have sufficient housing. But for the majority, again, that's not an option. So without contravening their 5-year plans, the majority of housing associations will be keen, if they do reduce distribution, to make it minimal. Finally, operating costs. So operating costs is going to be where most people see changes. Most housing associations will see cuts. The number of housing association clients we've spoken to believe that's where they're going to see the majority of the savings. So things like channel shifting, multi-skilling staff. The houses around here, if we had a visit, if we had a multi-skilled HO going out to a house, they could diagnose and ideally repair a number of problems straight away. So instead of having multiple visits, you can reduce the cost. Housing visits is probably one of the biggest expenses that we see in housing associations today. In terms of channel shifting, 70 to 80% of people in the UK have a smartphone. They'll be able to take pictures of a broken door, for example, or a busted radiator. So by doing that, by reducing our costs around the services we deliver at housing associations, we can save money. There are a number of ways. Our consultants are already talking to a number of housing associations, as I said. We'd really love to meet with you, talk about how we can support you through what's going to be a very challenging time. And the Sovereign Consultants are free, so if you would like to give us a call, please do, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.